We OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Yeah. Experts on reload. Yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Runes is coming. Everybody on a knot. Ayy. It's a nuisance. Ordinal Revolution. Ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, is my guy for real, bro? Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this satoshis, nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution. Ayy, Bitcoin is the one, no substitution. Ayy, with Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal Ecosystem. What is up, guys? I know it looks a little different here. I'm actually on vacation with the family, but I'm still here with you guys today, trying to make the best of this crypto market. Still keeping up with everything, still watching everything, so nothing has changed. We have a great show for you guys today. Got the beach please sign in the background, so we appreciate you guys dealing with us. The show's gonna be a little shorter, on the shorter end, and probably my audio and stuff's probably gonna sound a little different just the next couple of days. Probably freezing up a little bit as well. But yeah, so today and tomorrow I'll be here with Yagobi. Wednesday and Thursday we got our guy J25 joining us again, and then I'll be back on Friday, just giving you guys a wind up of what's going on. So if you just deal with us for this week, I promise you we'll be back and better than ever. But without further ado, let me bring in my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up? What's going on? How's the beach?
Man? It's good, dude. It's been better than I thought. You know, we're in the 80s here in Jersey, so I thought it was gonna be cold, but humidity's freaking high, dude. It's a lot hotter than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. That next to the water, you're always gonna have humidity in the summer, right? So
yeah,
no surprise there, but I am surprised about the temperature. 80 degrees. Wow, that's actually a little bit on the chilly side, I would think.
For sure.
But yeah, it's probably coming up, the breeze coming off the water as well.
There was a heat wave though. It was like in the 90s, close to 100, and it just cooled down. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing right now. I'm definitely feeling like it's a good thing. So
yeah, 100%.
All right, enough about the weather, but let's kind of jump right into it. How was your weekend? How are you feeling? How's everything with you?
Yeah, the weekend was volatile, I feel like, with Bitcoin's price action. I think we got all the way down to 57,000, I think. Maybe yesterday, I'm not sure, but it was up and down. It's been choppy. That's kind of what the energy's been like with Bitcoin recently. I feel like that's what we should have probably expected after the first couple of days in August. I'm hoping for a rebound to finish off the month heading into September, but we'll see. We titled our show today, Wake Me Up When September Ends, because we remember that last October is really kind of when things started to crank up, right? So
yeah. And I remember last August, we were kind of thinking the same thing. We're going to get bullish in September. It never really came until October. And then obviously November, December were absolutely insane for us. And I think we're going to repeat that. But I do have a weird suspicion that it might come sooner. because I just remember 2021, and I would just remember how every single weekend it just felt exactly how we had the last 2 weekends. Nice price action on Friday, a dump going into Sunday, reversal back into Monday, repeat and redo it again. So I don't know, man. I have that deja vu feeling again, and it really feels like potentially we might see some upward movement because it feels pretty much the same. It just means, I think retail is back, and that's just kind of how they trade.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of weird variables, right? Outside
Yeah,
variables that doesn't really the community or the crypto industry doesn't really have too much control over, right? And the first one was earlier in this year, the Bitcoin ETF got approved, right? Kind of a positive surprise for us, that created the volatility to the upside,
yeah,
and that we hit all-time highs whenever we way before we expected them to hit. And then that kind of skewed perception throughout the rest of the year, right? The rest of the spring, summer, and stuff like that. We tried to knock on the door of another all-time high 3 more times after that. So I think perception has been skewed, and then also, our specific ecosystem benefited from the first couple of those, and the last one was kind of like, we're exhausted, right?
yeah,
So with that being said, it's like, what's the expectation heading into the fall and winter? And I think things are starting to normalize a little bit after that first kind of push up, hitting the all-time high before the halving and all that stuff. And now things are starting to rebalance back out. The ETF obviously still a positive thing because there's volume that comes in daily, massive volume sometimes, but it's more stabilized, trying to rebalance heading into this fall and winter. Now, the other variable that recently came into play is obviously the election. We had
yeah.
some positive energy that came in when Trump was leading and the Bitcoin conference. Everybody's happy about that. Then the past like 2 weeks, that completely flipped the script. Past 3 weeks, or how long they announced Kamala's going to be the nominee now. And so those are things that we can't control. So I've learned to really focus on the things that we can control, because
Yeah.
if you try to focus on things that are out of our control, that's just added stress, and it really can get to you.
Yeah, 100%. And I still truly believe that they're going to make us feel really, really rich going into the election. They're going to want us to not make as many changes, and what that means, they want us to keep Kamala or this Democratic administration in the seat of the president, right? So I do truly believe that we're going to see a lot of money come in the system, and I think that starts with the interest rates dropping, right? Interest rates are set to drop September 17th. We don't know if it's going to be 0.25 or 0.5. I think it's going to be 0.5, a half a point. I think we're going to get half a point up until the election. I think we're going to get one in September, one in October, and potentially one in November, which would take us back down to about 3% going into the election. I think that would be, potentially what would really bring in liquidity. And if that starts to happen, then we could see insanity come into Bitcoin, because then inflation comes up. And right now, I'm noticing. So I was here in Jersey, last year and to this year. I feel like prices have dropped a little bit. I can't pinpoint
Really?
it. Yeah, I can't pinpoint it, dude. But like, I remember from
Or
2021.
are you richer now
I'm
than you
definitely
were?
not rich here. I'm definitely not rich here. But I remember, and I'm gonna go back and look at my credit cards from last year to this year. But I just feel like when I'm buying tickets or when I'm buying the stuff, you know what I mean? It's just feels a little cheaper. I don't know
Interesting.
why, because I remember coming here in 2021, and I just ripping a hole in my pockets. I just remember swiping and be like, "Fuck, it's that much," but and stuff like that. But this time it doesn't feel that way. I could just be used to it in this time around, and I am freezing up a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah, I saw the opposite when I went to Las Vegas last week,
did you?
right? Now, I haven't been to Las Vegas in a while, and maybe it was a little shock and awe for me because it's been, I think, right before COVID. So that's some years, right? So, but Nashville definitely felt like you were with me there, and we felt like things were pretty pricey.
Yeah,
But Nashville could be pricey, and we're just, those are both of our first times there. So regardless if the economy, if inflation's affecting us when we travel or not, I think that more than anything is these rate cuts are needed. And it's kind of funny. It's like now they're like probably rushing to try to play catch up a little bit here. And there's a lot of people complaining. You know, you have like people like Fred Krueger that are
Yeah.
really into the day to day of the economy and Bitcoin and stuff that says, you know, they always delay and then they play catch up and all this stuff. But hey, it is what it is. We have the cards that were dealt, and now we got to figure out like how to play the last part of this year, right? And I think with our industry, our ecosystem and community, they've been kind of holding bags recently for the past, I would say, 3-6 months. But last time we were in this position, we were holding bags. It worked out very well. The bags that I was holding were Sats, you know, Rats was kind of newer at the time, but like Track, stuff like that, and it paid off. And we held those bags all through the summer. You remember that?
Bitmaps.
Yeah, Bitmaps.
Yeah,
But it paid off for us,
it
right?
did.
So
Yeah, I remember September, November being like, oh wow, this could be something. And then December just being like, holy crap. And then obviously we had a little bit down and then right back at it in February. And I think we can get a repeat of that. I definitely do. I mean, it's definitely not going to be exact, but it's definitely going to rhyme, in my opinion.
I agree. But you know, there is this feeling of uncertainty heading into the election.
Yeah.
And you know, that's something that I've kind of struggled with a little bit, just because it's been volatile in that, you know, like who's
Yeah.
gonna win? This is momentum's over here, and at the end of the day, it's kind of goes back to what I said to when we opened the show up. It's you know, focus on the things that you can control.
Yep.
Don't focus and spend your energy and mind energy and all that stuff on things you can't control, because you can't control it. So
Yeah.
you're literally just wasting mental energy and stress on those things when you should be utilizing mental energy and stress on what you can control.
100%. Let's get into some topics here. This is huge because this is something that I've said for a while. I don't think the miners are going to be selling their Bitcoin. I think they're going to be selling their stock to buy more Bitcoin. And this is something that Bitcoin miner Marathon Digital to raise $250 million to purchase more Bitcoin. So these guys are doing the opposite. They're not selling their Bitcoin. They're selling their stock to buy more Bitcoin. And I saw this coming a mile away. I think this is the first of many. I think you're going to see Riot. You're going to see a bunch of other ones as well come in here and start selling stock right now, because you got to remember their stock's high. A lot of miner stocks tripled, or some of them quadrupled or 5x because of Bitcoin went from 20,000 to 69,000 this year, right? So that's, I mean, I don't know about this year. Yeah, I think Bitcoin was like 25,000 beginning of this year, but yeah. So.
Yeah, and the thing is that I don't remember seeing news headlines like this. Now, I wasn't looking for them last cycle or even the previous cycle, but this is different. I think that they realize TradFi's here, ETF's going to push up. This is our best chance, right? But also, Marathon's huge. They're not a small, medium-sized outfit, right? I had dinner with a miner that is more on the smaller to medium-sized business this past Friday, I think, or Saturday, and their machines that were off for the past, I want to say, 3 months, right?
Yeah.
But these bigger ones, they have the ability to pull capital, sell their stock down, be able to raise within their community and purchase more. So this is extremely bullish because they know what's coming, and I think these are things that you can get put your mind energy on researching and stuff.
You got to remember though too is Riot and Mara didn't come live until late 2021, so they came in the back end of last cycle. They didn't go public until I want to say, I remember it being like towards the end, maybe even 2022. So this is they had their first full cycle in the public, and they haven't really sold any stock going leading into this because I'm sure they were like, oh, let's wait for Bitcoin to get higher. So now is the perfect time. So you might see these companies who went live last cycle being the ones who's selling their stock now to buy more Bitcoin, and then potentially later maybe selling Bitcoin to buy the stock back. It really depends, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I was wondering how bad the Bitcoin mining stocks got hit during the sell-off last week, right? And I'm sure they went kind of in that same trend, right, as everybody else. But a lot of headlines now are saying, those are the stocks to probably buy the dip on. So Bitcoin is going to be a big focus of this next six to 12 months. Obviously, we know that we're in this industry, but I think more broad financial pundits and people that commentators and stuff, they're going to start focusing on it too, because it's going to be a highlight.
Yeah.
BlackRock's going to want to have headlines with Bitcoin in them. They're going to, other investors and fund managers are going to want that, and they have the power to make that happen. So this, in my opinion, is going to be the most impactful bull market that we've seen to date.
I agree. All right, moving along here. We got Celsius sues Tether, demanding $2.4 billion worth of Bitcoin. I love how Celsius just goes, oh yeah, you owe us $2.4 billion worth of Bitcoin. Total bullshit, in my opinion.
That's today's value too.
How's that even possible?
So the reason why they're suing Tether is because Tether liquidated their positions. I believe it was like 3 months prior to Celsius becoming insolvent, right?
Okay.
Because of that, they're speculating or stating that Tether could see the markets intentionally help tank Celsius or whatever. They have this argument behind it. And not only is that argument, in my opinion, dumb, but it's now they're trying to get today's value of how much it has accrued since then. So, I mean, I think they're just really trying to get as much recovery as possible. I don't think this is going to get anywhere.
And
2.4, by the way,
2.4 billion for Tether is like last month's earnings, right? Like,
I mean,
like for them,
it's giant.
For them, that's nothing, right? Obviously, they don't want to give up $2.4 billion in Bitcoin because to them, they know that that's potentially $20 million of Bitcoin in the future. So I just think this is total bullcrap. I think that they're just trying to find scenarios to kind of, I don't know, because this isn't even the original Celsius team, right? These are just the creditors and people like that are part of this now. So I think usually have a team come in and kind of rectify everything, but it's not going to go anywhere. There's nothing to worry about from the Bitcoin side, because if they did get that much Bitcoin, they would just sell it onto the market.
Yeah.
I think they would have to. So I'm not really worried about this at all.
Yeah, and they're stating because people withdrew their assets before they actually filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Right. So they're actually not just going after Tether; they're going after users too.
Yeah.
Which to me is even more ridiculous. But they're trying to sue people for 100,000. This gets as low as that, all the way up to the billion. So it's interesting. But I do agree with you. I think this is probably not the founders. This is probably like a team of advisors trying to just mitigate as much as possible in terms of paying back and legal situations.
100%. All right, big news tonight. Elon Musk and Donald Trump at 8 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be on Twitter. I'm guessing it'll be a Twitter space. I'm not sure if it'll be video or if it'll be just audio, but it seems to be something that potentially could be really good for the election. Obviously, being a Bitcoiner, Trump is the best for us. If you're a one-issue voter like myself, crypto is the only thing that matters. So I mean, but this is pretty big. But the rumor is that Elon might be buying Truth Social, which is Donald Trump's social media company. And if he does that, it will be a stock type deal, which means Trump will be a minor shareholder of Twitter, because Twitter is no longer public. So I think this is pretty good. I don't know how true the rumors are, but it seems pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think they're trying anything at this point to really get the momentum back. And so for the reason why we even bring this up is because what you said, if you are a Bitcoiner, then, Trump winning is a big positive, right? But yeah, Elon says entertainment guaranteed. He posted that. And so I do believe it's going to be on video, live on Spaces, but we'll see. We'll see. It is today at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. So I'm definitely going to be tuning in to see, if Bitcoin gets mentioned. I hope it does. But yeah, it says entertainment guaranteed. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be some funny moments here.
100%. All right, coming along here. Bitcoin bull run if Trump doesn't win. What do you mean by this?
What will it look like, right?
Oh.
What will the Bitcoin bull run look like if Trump doesn't win? And the bull run's still going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
Right. You got people, entities like BlackRock that are on board, but it might not be as intense as we initially thought, right? Because now we're worried, we're hesitant because there's some stuff coming out, like you mentioned pre-show when we're prepping about, the VP that Harris picked is kind of not, I don't know if he's anti-crypto or whatever, but he's made some remarks, and we don't know if we can trust that side of the aisle, right? Now, at the end of the day, going back to be able to focus on what you can control. I think at the end of the day, we're going to have our bull run, whether that Bitcoin gets to 150, 180, 200, or 500,000, 750,000, as you think.
700,000.
Oh, 700,000. That's
yeah.
yet to be determined, obviously. But, it's just, I think we need to kind of just be prepared either way. And I think if you just focus on the fundamentals of how you got to where you are and the things that you can control, then we'll be fine, right? That's okay if Bitcoin gets to 150,000 because you're focused on what you do best, and that is, flipping, turning 10x's, 50x's, 100x's, 5x's, whatever that is. What do you think about this, though? If Trump doesn't win, I'm curious on your thoughts.
So if Trump doesn't win, we're gonna go potentially into war. It feels like to me. Which means the money printer will be turned on, which means government contracts will be given to a lot of companies. Usually means the money printer just doesn't stop, which could create a lot of liquidity as well. So I honestly don't really think it matters who's president. I just think that we just need to get this election over with before Bitcoin really takes off, just because the uncertainty, like you mentioned earlier, uncertainty doesn't do well. Markets don't do well in uncertainty. They do well with, okay, everything's priced in. Let's see where we go from here. So I honestly think it doesn't matter who's president going into next year. I think it's better for crypto that Trump wins, but I think it could be even better for Bitcoin if Kamala wins, because the money printer's going to go off, which means Bitcoin's going to be that hedge against inflation, in my opinion, this time around. And it could be if Democrats do win, it could be a Bitcoin only run, which, I mean, for us being Bitcoiners, that doesn't really matter too much. But for the entire crypto markets to run, I think we need a very friendly, very SEC like different approach to things, and I think that Trump brings that.
Yep, I agree with that 100%.
All right, let's jump over to the Bitcoin fear and greed, if you wouldn't mind showing this. I haven't seen it yet, so if you tell me,
I want you to guess this time.
All right,
so yesterday was 39, so that's 8 p.m. 2 days ago. So what do you think it is right now?
What was last week?
Last week was 26.
So 26, 38. So I'm gonna go 29.
Not bad. 25.
Okay.
25.
I'll take that. It's close enough.
Yep. 25. Not bad. But I do think that flips again today, because we are sitting at a decent rebound of 60,000. Yeah. So we're back over 60,000. So
yeah, man.
Yep.
All right. Let's kind of jump into some Bitcoin price action, brought to you by our good friends at bitperp.io.
Yes. Brought to you by bitperp.io. That is going to be launching a perpetual DEX on Botonics, a Bitcoin layer 2. But before we get into that, guys, if you're on the YouTube side, please smash that like for us. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing with your life? Subscribe and hit the notifications. On the Twitter side, guys, please share this space for us so we can educate and onboard as many people as possible. And it looks like I spoke too soon, because it looks like we actually are back below 60,000 now. But let's get into the charts here. So on the hour chart, you can see this descending triangle formed here very nicely, right? Very, very nicely right here, because it played out perfect. Popped up here. We'll see how long this goes. So this is the hour chart. We are definitely bouncing back from yesterday. Yesterday, like I mentioned, I think we touched 57,000. Maybe not. Maybe it was low 58. But you can see here with the MACD, we're showing some strength in the buy pressure area, right? The blue and red lines are still a decent space apart from each other. And then we entered the overbought. Let's see, it says midnight. So we've been kind of running this second part of this descending triangle starting from midnight Central Time yesterday all the way up until now. So I do think we run a little bit longer for this. So maybe the second half of today, we can try to knock back on like 61,000. We'll see. But as I'm saying that, we are dumping down to 59.5. I do think that there's probably some more room because we just entered into overbought territory. So I'm gonna stick with my guns, unless there was an event that just happened or something. I'm gonna stick with my guns because we were in oversold for a very long time. You can see there, we just popped up here. So I'm gonna say to finish today, I'm gonna say we're gonna end up knocking on $61,000 door there. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing for the rest of today on the 8-hour chart. Let me pull that up here. And guys, I did talk to the BitPerp team, and they are working on the auto refresh there. So it's kind of similar situation, actually. You can see here a descending triangle started to form a while ago, though, and it kind of bounced out here. But we'll see if it continues. Let me get my indicators going here. So the 8-hour chart we use for about a week forecast there. So it does look like the buy pressure is weakening here. You can see the blue and red lines are starting to try to meet up in the middle. So they are coming here, which means this buy pressure could be coming to a close. We have been in overbought for a little bit of time since the 7th. So we're looking at about 5 days since we entered in overbought. So we could see here the next week kind of coming back down, right? Something maybe trying to get back down to 57,000 for the next week. That doesn't mean we don't go to 61,000. Like I said today, we could hit 61,000 and then just kind of, get back on track for the 8-hour chart. But man, yeah, it definitely looks like my 1-hour chart prediction. It could be wrong because we're definitely heading down right now. But anyways, for the rest of the week, what the indicators are telling me at least is that we could be heading back down. So 57,000, 57.5. I've been saying try to finish August a little bit in the green, and then September could be good. But like we said, we named the show to Wake Me Up When September Ends, because this summer has been rough, right? It's been rough with a couple peaks of optimism, but for the most part, it has not been a great summer. So really want to try to get to that fall period as quick as possible. But yeah, so I'll say for the rest of this time period from now until next week, maybe bouncing up and down, settling in that 57.5 range, but we'll see. But that is what I see. And again, this Bitcoin price action was brought to you by BitPerp, the premier perpetual DEX that will be launching on Botonics. And guys, just keep your notifications on if you're following them, because they will be having a testnet traders competition with prizes here in the next couple of weeks. And we will update you guys on that as soon as we get news.
100%, man. Botonics seems to be going to be special. And if BitPerp can kind of be that leading DEX or leading perpetual platform over there, that could be huge. Be huge for the people who get some points, potentially get some tokens.
Yep. And PZ says buy that handle. So yeah, I do see that cup here. Handle. Bam, but that looks bad, right? So obviously I don't think we get to 52,000, but that handle does have to form, or that tail end of that handle, and then bam, it could bust up into that cup and handle. So appreciate seeing that PZ there.
I wouldn't mind that. All right, guys, let's get into my favorite part of the show here. It's roll call. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's with us on this Summer Monday. I did want to say one thing, though. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be selling next May and going away, at least until August. I am not dealing with this, or at least selling down a lot of my riskier stuff and maybe just kind of chilling in Bitcoin, which is what I normally do anyway. But
I'm not going to hold the summer that we replicate DeFi summer. Because everybody's been calling us for DeFi summer after DeFi summer has not hit. And then the one time that you do it will be, well, it makes sense too, though. Like it's the post-halving year. Yeah. So maybe we prep for the next post-halving year for the actual good summer and then skip all the rest.
In 2021, we did dip hard in April, May, but that July was very bullish.
Yeah.
All right. Moving along here. So first is first. We got our boy Danny Boy, number
Let's
one today.
go.
You win, my friend. You are a legend. Shout out to Danny, man. Appreciate you. One of our mods as well. Don't forget that. He helps us big time. Shout out to Danny. He said, holy moly, did I get first? Yes, Danny. Holy moly is right. Congratulations. And you get a congratulations from Why Walk Alone. I Walk Alone. Always one of the nicest people I ever met, man. GM from the Smash That Like and Share everywhere. Oh, GM fam. I said from. But yeah, shout out to you. I Walk Alone. You are a legend. And another one of our mods here, Tim Bake, AODR. Appreciate you, my friend. And then no. Congratulations to you, no. I'm not sure if you gave your wild address yet, but you won some ORNJ. So definitely check out that video. What do they got to do? The winners, the YouTube winners, they have to go to that old video and put their wild address in the comments.
Correct.
Okay.
The drawing live stream that we did, go to that live stream and then put your Taproot address in the comment section, and we will make sure you're taken care of.
Yeah, man. Lucky Lukey's in the building. And then we got the Glass Hopper. Shout out to you, my friend. Big goofy guy. He's always with us now, man. Shout out to you, big goofy guy. You're not goofy to me, man. I got Ethereum blockchain. Shout out to you, my friend. John. He says, can't make the live, but in your spirit, catch you guys later. Shout out to you, John. Thank you for coming in. I've been starting to like John now. Just a little bit, but I'm starting to like him. Joko is here. That guy, Yasher, man. Yasher helps us out so much. He's like, nice clip from Green Day. Yes, he gets it. Which is funny because Green Day was just in Philly on Friday. So it's pretty funny that that ended up being our things for today. Pelpa is here. Crypto Noob is here. Cheaty is here. Zahid is here. Chain Watcher. Shout out to you, my friend. He's GM. Any whispers on RSIC? RSIC's been up 100% over the last 7 days. So pretty crazy. I think I said Pelpa, but I'll say you again, Pelpa. Ordinal Tweets is here. Claudia U is here. Rick G. Long live the BRC20s. We got some news for BRC20s. So hang in there, Mr. Rick. I think you're going to do really well. Drex is here. Zahid is here. Nand is here. Patrick Nand's in the building. Sixes is here. Wonder Shorts. Shout out to you, my friend. We're going to get into that comment in a little bit. Let's see. Who haven't I said yet? Cindy. Shout out to Cindy. She's here with her fire emojis. Cache Catch is in the building. Oh, but Albert, I haven't seen you here in a while, my friend. We're going to get into that in a few seconds. Don't worry. No Limit Dude is here. DJ Sats, Axel, Chief Axel's in the building, followed by Kai Effect. Let's see. PZ's in the building. Mr. Sheedy, shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for always joining us. You are a legend. Jesus is here. And then Mauricio Leo's here. Shout out to Mauricio. Kai Effect again, and Bitmap Gallery. Shout out to all you guys, man. We always support your we always love your support every Monday, man. And we know very, very boring market right now, but you guys are here. So you guys are going to be the winners. I promise you that. Everyone who watched our show last August and September ended up doing really well in September and October. And I think that's going to happen again for you guys as well.
100%.
All right. I kind of want to get into something really quickly before we get into other topics. So I put out a tweet, right, to the guys over at I just want to read the tweet. I think that'll just be easier. Let me just grab it real quick. Sorry guys, my screen. I can't do the double screen today. So
I can share it. You want me to share it?
Yeah, you want to share it and kind of read what I said?
Yeah, let me get to it. Okay, there we go. Because you do tweet and retweet a lot, so I had to find it.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
All right.
And I can actually read this. You want me to read it?
I can read it if you want.
Okay.
It's my words.
Okay.
I believe in redemption and second chances, but we need to acknowledge that Oshi was a failed project, despite the massive hype. MotoSwap on CBRC20 also had enormous hype at ETH Denver, yet it's still in testnet. Now, OpNet generating a similar buzz, especially from people I respect, like Mark Jeffrey and Bob Bodley. I generally hope OpNet lives up to what Danny and Chad are promising, but claiming it will outperform other protocols given the history of the two overhyped and undervalued projects seems overly optimistic, almost absurd. The toxicity from Oshi team was unacceptable. Danny going into the Track Discord to claim Oshi was better than Track feels like a scene from a comedy movie. I really hope they've learned a lot from the two failed project and approach this project with a little bit more humility. The rug talks are old and ineffective. And the fact that we're still here this hearing this kind of talk is concerning. I'm looking forward to trying out OpNet if it launches, but right now it feels like deja vu. And I posted this because earlier in the day, Chad basically came out and was like, said something about track, and I was like, come on, guys, again. And then I was just like, you know what? I kind of want to test out something real quick. So a few of our partners hit me up and said, hey, do you think we should start building on OpNet? And I was thinking in my head, you guys matured a little bit, maybe, right? Because I mean, if Mark Jeffrey and Bob Bodley are bullish on it, then next week could not be bullish on it. So I was like, I'm gonna check to see something. So I put out that tweet knowing it would cause a little controversy, and I want to see the responses. Danny responded with, "I hope your family dies. I hope your mom dies."
Well, that was a little bit later, but
No, that wasn't.
Was it right away?
It was pretty close. So first he blocked me. He read that, he put a tweet comment in there, and then he blocked me. And then he unblocked me to come in there and say, and you guys can, it's still there. If not, I did have a screenshot it. But he basically came in and said, "He goes, my whole family dies and everything," because I made a comment like that, and that was personal. That's no longer just messing around. That's the thing, and that just showed me that these guys are just not ready for the spotlight yet, right? And I hope that does change. But I it's my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to have my personal opinion. And what happened was everyone else just kind of saw that tweet that I made and and I was not expecting this, kind of just went in on Motor Swap. They did some lot of shady stuff in the past, and it all came out in that tweet. Do I regret posting that tweet? Not really, honestly. I don't regret it at all, because it did show me that these guys are just not ready to be that project who can't handle criticism. Because having a project, I don't care what kind of project you have, podcast, anything, you need to be able to handle a lot of criticism. And I think I'm getting better at it. I'm not as good as I should be, but I like to mess around as well, especially with John. But these guys cannot handle even a little bit of criticism, and that's concerning to me.
Yeah. So I was enjoying my Friday afternoon and started seeing some stuff on the timeline and said, well, I'm gonna watch from afar. No, but I think the initial post was fine. Just putting your opinion out there. I do think that there's a lot of sensitivity in the space in terms of trying to protect your basket of eggs, or your project or your baby, however you want to call it. I think that when people get offended, it starts to get personal, and then people start to kind of attack, right? And that's just the nature of, first of all, Twitter in general, I think. And then you take that to another level with crypto Twitter, right?
Yeah.
But it's been kind of this way since we've been in the space, to where there's a couple projects that just react that way, right? Now I think that there's a little bit of mixture of truths on each side. Obviously, what Danny posted was unacceptable in any circumstance. You never go after, talk about someone's family like that. And someone actually inscribed that on Bitcoin. Someone actually inscribed that reply on Bitcoin, which is wild. But one thing I will say is this, is that these guys, we've met them in person. We met them in Nashville at the Sandbar. We didn't really have any conversation whatsoever with Danny. He was talking to somebody else. I think he said a hi real quick, but we did have a conversation with Chad, and we've had Chad Masters on our show, and he, for the most part, he's a stand-up guy. I think that he kind of came to the defense a bit with this whole situation, and because he's invested as well, time, energy, whatever, I don't know about financially, but into this project as well. He's probably partner. So I kind of look at it kind of similar to like how we are, right? You and I are partners in what we do. So I can see why he came to his defense a bit. But what I will say is that the criticism part, you're absolutely 100% right. You've got to be able to take criticism in the space, because if it's not going to be someone giving their opinion, even if it is criticism towards what you're building, it's going to be somebody else. Like, it's going to, it's not us, it's going to be somebody else, right? So handling that is really important, and really just focusing and putting your head down and continually building, right? So that's what I'll say about that. At the end of the day, we want the space to be better. So if they do create a product that does make the space better, then we're happy about that,
100%.
regardless of what the past has been and all those things, right? There's one thing though that I remember from, and I just kind of want to put this out there. I wasn't in these private chats, right, with the Oshi team and all these things, but I do remember Danny kind of coming out and saying, "Hey, look, this team is doing shady stuff, and we're going to migrate away from them." Anything else I didn't see, so I had to take that from like a surface level, of what that meant. So I do remember him kind of not necessarily going out and saying, "Hey, everybody, I want to protect you guys," because that wasn't the message that I saw either. But it was a message saying, "Hey, look, I'm stepping away and building something that is not going to be a slow rug like Oshi," because I believe he did kind of say that it was a slow rug. So I guess, in that sense, he gets a little bit of props, but again, I don't know the details because there's always details behind the curtain, right?
100%.
And so that's why I kind of like to stay, a couple levels away and let things play out. Because at the end of the day, everything will play out how they're supposed to. I truly believe that. Whether you have good intentions or bad intentions, those intentions, it might take a little bit of time, but they will play out, and you will, whatever your intentions were, will come to surface. So
100%. And I just want to say out there, I love Chad Masters. I think he's absolutely amazing person. I think he's got his head on straight. I think he's the perfect voice for OpNet. I think he and MotoSwap and whatever else they're creating. I think he's awesome. I think Danny needs to step away from the keyboard a little bit. Maybe just start a burner account if he wants to tweet stuff, which is I think fine. And but I think for OpNet, Danny just needs to kind of take a step back. Let Chad run the day-to-day operations when it comes to voicing stuff, and which is fine. We've seen Benny do that, right? We've seen Benny step back completely, and he's letting other people take the reins, which is I think is the smartest thing you can do as a developer. You should develop. If you understand that your communication skills aren't there, or you are a bit hot-headed, maybe you should let someone else take the reins. I think Chad is a perfect person for that, and I do hope OpNet succeeds. I think it's anything that's being built on Bitcoin. Absolutely amazing. Being Ordinal Revolution, we cover the space. So the more stuff that we can talk about, the better. And I'm still a person who's going to use OpNet when it comes out. There's nothing they can do about it, right? Because it's permissionless. But I'm just kidding. But it's just one of those things where I'm excited for it, and I hope it does launch on Fractal and then potentially one day on L1 Bitcoin. I'm just excited. I'm excited for the space. I'm excited for building.
Yep, I think that was very well said to finish that topic there.
All right, jump into some other stuff here. This was huge. So this is OCM Danny. He says someone just paid $300,000 for 450 Block 9 sats. Should I be buying some rare sats? What's going on? That's a lot of money for some rare sats.
Yeah, that is a lot of money. Are these 2009? Well, they are 2009, right? Because Block 9 is
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Is like, are some of these uncommon? Like, what is creating this? Because let's see how much that costs per.
Yeah. Well, you have to
300,000.
remember that these are the satoshis that Satoshi sent to Hal Finney, and these are the satoshis that Hal Finney sold on the open market. So that is one thing everyone has to understand. Potentially, Hal Finney sent these tokens to himself, but I don't know. But it's one of those things where these were Satoshi's mined tokens. These are going to hold a lot of value in the future because obviously we think that these will be the only Satoshis that are ever on the market that Satoshi himself mined.
Yeah. So maybe they're getting, I guess, the respect that has been due for them, right? Because we kind of rank our rare sats as obviously, the rare. Well, above rare is the what is it? The one that the epic, then rare, and then uncommon, and then it's a small like group of Block 9. I think like
Pizza sats.
Nakamoto. Well, I think Pizza and some of the other ones are a little bit lower, but I think it's like the Block 9, maybe those early palindromes or whatever, right? But like it's like uncommon and up are like the ones that are like big money, right?
Yeah.
And so this might start to move into that category because of the lore, or like not lore, the actual history behind it. So we'll see. I mean, $300,000 is a lot of money. So they got to have a big project with these sats and what they're going to do. I'm guessing obviously a collection.
Yeah.
But hey, it just might be like a collector that wants to hold on to them. We'll see.
And we're an investment. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
buy them now, and a year from now, you sell them for $1 million.
Yeah.
You just don't really know. All right. So shout out to Block, but he hit me up. He was like, "Yo, here's the faucet for Fractal, and it's out there. You guys can get it now. If you guys need the faucet, hit me up." But Fractal's testnet is live. You can now do some stuff for the first time on Fractal Bitcoin. If you go to unisat.io, you can go over there and you can actually do the NFT trading. They're minting Goosenols and a whole bunch of other stuff over there right now. Obviously, it's all testnet, not gonna be worth anything, but you can use the free testnet Bitcoin you get from the faucets to kind of participate. And I was kind of talking to you about this as well. I was saying, we need to do this for the main reason of just getting used to how things are going to work when Fractal comes out. Being ready so you don't have to get ready, right? So that is the big part of why I think everyone should be playing on Fractal Testnet. We think that it's going to be the next big thing, at least for the first couple months of launch. Will it be the savior of all things? No, it'll be another L2 on Bitcoin for Bitcoin or sidechain or whatever you want to call it. But will it bring gains? 100%. There will be a hoo-hoo of Fractal. There will be a Voya Fractal. And I say that were the two that did really well in the first month or so of Merlin. So I think that repeats on Fractal. I think we need to be ready for that. So owning the first meme coin on Fractal, just like hoo-hoo was the first meme coin on Merlin, could be bring like 100x gains, 50x gains. I don't know the number, but it's going to bring some gains 100%. This is why that I am bullish on it. And I'm excited for what be Fractal Testnet and Fractal Mainnet.
Yeah. I as soon as you told me that, man, I started filling up my wallets. Because I remember how testnet Bitcoin on for the testnet was like scarce at one point.
Yes.
People were paying money for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting. But at the end of the day, it allows you to just dabble with these new projects that are going to be launching. Who knows?
Yeah.
They might do an airdrop. I do know Unisat does look at like testing as a good thing. And so maybe there's a reward. We don't know if there is, but we'll see.
Yeah. And speaking of airdrop, Sats Pump Fun, one of the biggest projects, in my opinion, that are building on Fractal. I don't really know too many others, but they said the following communities are eligible for the first and largest BRC20 airdrop. The first meme coin on Fractal Bitcoin. So Ordi, Sats, Pizza, Shint, Wizard, Honk, Rats, and Bitmap holders will all be getting airdropped because it is the same exact wallet. That's the best part. It's the same exact wallet for L1 Bitcoin that has Fractal. So it's the same exact. You copy that address for L1, and you can send whatever you want to that address. So that is one thing that's really cool. Well, you don't even need like someone's address, nothing. You can airdrop everybody, every BRC20 holder if you want to. And obviously it's gonna be way cheaper on Fractal than it is on L1. And you can just give everyone anything you want. And that could, it could really be pretty exciting, especially for pre-Fractal, right? So we get any like pre-runes.
I hope there's a big airdrop by Unisat. I mean, Sats Pump Fun's doing an airdrop here, but like I hope there's one for kind of like what they did with Pizza. That would be really cool because they obviously had to spend $2 million to do that, but they're building out like Fractal in their own custom code. So they could do it to where it's super dirt cheap, right? And we'll see though. We'll see. I think it would be really good idea to reward the users of Unisat. So Unisat, if you're listening, do it.
A little birdie told me that the fees are going to be less than a penny on Fractal.
Woo! And 30-second blocks, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So
if you want, let's just say if you want to airdrop every single Ordinals wallet, it might cost you like $100.
Yeah. And I mean, you could use Unisat's wallet on Merlin and Xverse on Merlin, but it does generate the EVM address that correlates for all of your each Bitcoin address, right? But still, that's really cool too. But over here, it's like literally like the creator of the wallet is creating this chain, and so all you got to do is like literally turn the network on. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very fun, I think. We're going to see what happens here.
Yeah.
One thing I saw though was someone posted that like it's already overhyped like Runes was, and so I really think that they need to go over and beyond of expectations, because this is starting to get like a lot of hype. Like Fractal's starting to get a lot of attention, a lot of hype, and the last thing we want is to be let down.
One big difference is Fractal is going to have smart contracts. So you're going to be able to do things over there that you can't do over here. So with Runes, all you can do is hold them, right? Just hold them, maybe find a place to stake them. There's not many places, but over there, potentially you're going to already have, maybe you have some games, some other fun stuff happening, some DeFi. It's going to get pretty reckless over there in the sense of staking and earning, and it's going to be more fun than Runes. So I don't think the hype dries up that quickly after. I think the hype can go for maybe until January before a cooldown, especially if we get it in September or October. I'm thinking we're going to get it more of November, just because I just kind of know how Unisat works by now. This isn't my first rodeo with them and waiting for projects. But if it does come out in September, like they're saying it does, then we could see a bull run like no other, and then potentially maybe cool down in January, February before the next leg up. And I think this could be the absolute perfect time to launch something like this.
Yeah. Well, that from Bob Bodley's post, I think it was yesterday, it seems like they're not going to have traditional smart contracts initially. It's going to be Bitcoin script, but it's probably finished out, because like Bitcoin script on Bitcoin it's not completed actually. They still need to complete that, but they were fine with the way it was because they weren't using smart contracts and stuff like that. So over here, it's going to be still Bitcoin script, but it's probably a finished out developed language on Fractal. But I don't know if Bob realizes that, Fractal voted on OpCat, because, he said that there's no op codes on Fractal, but they voted and the community said, yes, add it. So they're going to be adding it.
And that's the thing. Fractal's going to be very, very centralized in the beginning. It's only going to be a few nodes. So getting anything passed in the beginning, it could be really easy. So right now, the second, we don't have that, but who knows what we have in September?
Yeah, exactly. And then they'll be able to upgrade the code, right? In the core code over there to add op codes in the future. So I don't think that's gonna be a problem.
And if they don't, someone can just fork Fractal and just add it, right?
Fork of a fork of a fork of a fork.
I'm just saying, they did the Bitcoin Cash did the same thing. That's how we got SV. So who knows?
Yeah. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
I know.
Don't need any more BSVs or Bitcoin Cashes in this world.
Just saying, it's definitely. I mean, technically, it's still just a fork of Bitcoin you can add it, but you might see more of these as well. Fractal might not be the only one. I was messing with Jack Lou over the weekend. I said, you should just fork Bitcoin now and have your own version of Bitcoin SV. And he never responded to it. But Jack Lou, that'd be pretty cool. He starts his own Fractal. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there could be an ecosystem of these, that play out. That just, the way that they're building Fractal is they're like utilizing 6 different sidechain technologies that are out there to try to mimic as close to Bitcoin, but with as much scalability. Other than the op codes, I don't know if they start off with that or not, but they're really trying to basically make this like really robust Bitcoin fork that works just right on top of it, or right on the side of it, to where bridging everything smooth. And so it's gonna be interesting to see. Hopefully, I hope that they do release it in September. September's my birthday month. September's when football starts. September's when Fractal launched. Stuff like that. That would be really cool. Everybody could be happy, and then we go right into the fall and winter months with some big gains.
So one more thing on this really quickly is, how easy it's going to be for someone like Fluid to build on Fractal, or someone like Liquidium to build on Fractal, or someone like any of these dApps that are building over here right now to just become a dApp like Fluid's Terminal or something like that. It's going to be super easy for these builders just to be like, we're on both chains, right? So, and all we do, because it's the same wallet, right? It's just a fork of Bitcoin at the end of the day. It's the same exact thing. You just got to change the network that you're using. That's it. You have to go to the top, change Fractal to L1 or L1 back to Fractal, and that's it. So you're going to see borrowing and lending very quickly. You're going to see potential, other things as well, like liquidity. So with Opcat, it's going to make Fluid's limit order stuff super easy to use. So you can see that day one potentially have a swap from the Fluid. So guys, you only got 5 more days to get this to do a swap on Fluid to get this ordinal that's going to give you the tokens. So you want to do that because Fluid building over there could be something huge. And I don't know, a little birdie told me that they might be.
Well, I'll do you one more and say that, developers like Raul and his team could be core contributors to Fractal because they have a lot of UTXO chain experience. They, have dealt with smart contracts on Cardano, and there's other Cardano developers that are here right now that a lot of people don't realize. We've had some meetings with some of them, and some of them are, here to kind of do B2B stuff. And so they're not going to be in the spotlight until the time is right. So, this could be really big for Bitcoin's scalability with Fractal. But let's see, right? I think it's fair to say kind of put up or shut up to Unisat because, yes, they put up when they first launched the marketplace, but then they kind of didn't do much after that. And when they released the modular swap, it was a big letdown. That was a really big letdown. And now we've been waiting for some other solution, and it's taken them since February until now. But there just seems to be a lot of positive energy for this, and people have tested it out and they say they like it. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm bullish on it. I'm just excited to see what happens. It's at the end of the day, it's good for Bitcoin, right? It'll be TVL locked in for Bitcoin. You go to DeFi Llama, you hit Bitcoin, go to side chains, and you're going to see Fractal there, probably number 1.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right on that, though. If it is a hit, then the TVL is probably going to be really large on it, and then that's whenever you can see some of this other stuff that people mimic what Fractal did, just like on Ethereum, right? Like whenever you had Polygon start off as that side chain, you had other people trying to do like layer 2 side chain stuff, and there was this huge ecosystem.
Yep.
Is that good? Is it bad? I don't know. We have too many, in my opinion, over there. But the ones that are usable will be the ones that win.
And then potentially you get Opcat, right? And now they're actual real L2s. Fractal and Merlin become 2 of the most used because you can trade L1 assets on those dexes. So they will be in my opinion, the number 1 and number 2. Know what order you want to be, but they will be 1 and 2 side chains, potentially stacks, maybe in that mix as well. 1, 2, 3 between the 3 of them. But who knows? Who knows, right?
Yep.
All right, moving along here. This is huge. So MEXC did a Kickstarter for Billy. So the last Kickstarter for Ordinals was Track. And you definitely saw a price movement from Track afterwards. Track went from $1.12. So I think it's at around $1.49 here. I haven't checked the price today, but that's where I'm thinking it's at. But you might see something very similar with Billy here because now $1 billion cat will be on MEXC. Absolutely huge. It's my personal favorite exchange.
Yeah, well, I hope Billy goes to $1.40.
Well, that would be absolutely insane.
Yeah, that would be very nuts.
It did a 40% price bump. So, I mean, even a 40% price bump could be pretty big.
Yeah, this is big news, in my opinion, because like you said, MEXC isn't going to just add every rune. They're going to add strategically. Yes, they are on the lower end of like the, not lower end. I'd say they're probably like right a little bit above the middle in terms of centralized exchanges. But, it's not the Binance. It's not the tier 1s. Probably maybe makes it into that tier 2. But we'll see. Yes, this is big news for Billy. I think Billy's going to do well once the time is right. But like again, we are in that BRC20 bag holding period of last year, but for runes right now. So hopefully it plays out the same way.
Yeah, man. All right, we're about to up at that hour mark. Let's get into some Q&A.
All right, let's get not too many questions here, but there are some comments, so we'll go over those. Let's pull down this statement here, or banner there. Let's see what we got from the top. And then, okay, so let's go here. APND, APN says Coinbase to list sats. what? And then he follows up with, I'm confused. Is gas going to be the FB token or sats? When can we buy FB token? So let's attack these
Yeah. So let
separately.
me
The
say
first
first that
one, go ahead.
the FB token will be the token you get for you reward it for mining mining the Bitcoin, right? Or the
Block.
Bitcoin fractal, Bitcoin block. So you do the fractal Bitcoin block, you get the FB token. So initially, are they going to do a pre-mine? I hope not, but that's definitely something. So you might actually, they probably are because there's investors, right? Yeah, it's 100% there's investors. So they're going to do a pre-mine of it first, and then they're going to let you mine it. I don't know the how many FB tokens are going to be allowed or whatever, but usually you earn the very most FB or Bitcoin in the beginning and then go from there. But rumor has it is that Sats will be that fee token. So you will need Fats to do it, the Sats to do it. But I see that changing.
Well, I think, yeah, so Sats will, from my knowledge, Sats is just the gas token for the swap. But
Okay.
like, I agree with you, though. It wouldn't make sense just to make it only for the swap. It would make sense for it to be the gas token for the entire chain.
Yeah.
Right. But they will have their version of BTC, though. So I don't know, like, what does that look like? Or is it going to just be oracled over for the Bitcoin price? Probably that, right? That's what I'm thinking.
It
We'll
seems
see,
too
though.
confusing to do it with the Sats way. I think FB needs to be that gas token, but if Unisat wants to build a swap and make you use FB and Sats, that's fine too. It seems like they're kind of forcing this Sats narrative a little bit, but I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens. But as of right now, there's not a lot of information out on that, and I feel like anything can change at any moment.
Yeah. All right. Ethereum blockchain says, good morning, guys. I'm interested in the 700 track for validation license, first come, first serve. But if you don't get the license, do they send the 700 back? Yeah, I wouldn't imagine they steal your 700 track, do you?
Well, it's not how it works. So you have to go in and you have to hit the button. And then once you're eligible, you have 24 hours to send that track. If they don't get the track, then you don't get that validator. So you'll get a confirmation once they receive that they are receiving confirmation. So what happened when I did mine, I went to the site, I hit connect, I hit it was like get the validator, and it's like, congratulations, you get the validator, send this amount of track to this address. And then I sent the track to that address, and the confirmation came up and said, you have one validator. So that's how that worked. Make sure you just don't you won't have the address to send to anyway until you are notified that you are eligible for one.
Yeah. So that is that. But that's awesome that they're doing kind of the first come, first serve approach here. So that's really cool. John says he can't make the live, but he'll be here in spirit and catch up later. Yes, John, don't worry about not making the live. We know that your spirit is always here pestering Shizzy. All right, let's see here. What else we got? Pelpa gives you the shout out, says Real One broadcasting on vacation. That's what we do at Ordinal Revolution, right? I remember last summer, did we do a live or was it pre-record?
It was pre-recorded, but it was an update, and you were doing it from the floor.
I was at a lake house in Austin, or outside of Austin. Yeah. I mean, that just goes to show like that we love this, right? Yeah. Obviously, like we're not like, oh, we're on vacation, don't bother me, right? But yeah, so definitely appreciate you, Shizzy, jumping in during your vacation time.
Well, in the words of the great poet Kanye West, every single day is a vacation because I love my occupation.
He is a great poet. That probably didn't know it in the beginning. We got our long-lived BRC 20s from Rick G without a miss. I think he missed like 1 or 2 days without saying that, but
he had a tap one a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Or maybe it was last week. Said a tap token.
DJ Sass says bull run is inevitable. Yes, I think we all agree with that statement, sir. Bull run will not be stopped no matter what. And KaiFX says just keep supporting the developers. Yeah, the 100%. Good ones. Right? Obviously, the bad ones we want to call out and make sure people don't get hurt. The verse says, what's outside the simulation? I don't know, but sometimes I'd like to take a peek-see and see, because simulation seems very, very crazy at times. We got Albert Amari that says, y'all should just make up. It doesn't benefit the space to be fighting each other. Everyone here is on the same team. I don't know if I agree with that. I would say most everyone is on the same team. And this has nothing to do with anybody that we were talking about earlier. This is just a blanket statement. But I do agree that like not having, a lot of animosity towards other people and vice versa in space is it's a good thing, right? But at the end of the day, I think opinions and truths should be, you should have the ability to be told, be able to tell those things, especially on Twitter. Elon Musk supports that. And Tim Baker said, if crypto goes away, Yagobi will always have a job. He would make a great counselor. I don't know if I would want to do that, man. Dealing with crazy people all day. I'm crazy. So I'm like, I need them to counsel me too afterwards. And it's like, who's really in charge here? Let's see. Yasher says, what do you guys think about OpNet? Many on Twitter saying it's a scam. What are your thoughts? So we kind of went over that, right? Like, like in terms of like the technicals and stuff or the papers, have you had a opinion about that?
About the papers?
Or basically what they're trying to build.
I've read about Bodley's paper on it, and it sounds bullish. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be able to do it on Op1, but you could definitely do it on Fractal.
Yeah. Crypto Noob says faded runes due to much friction. I think FB will be a much smoother playground. We shall see. We shall see. I do think that runes are gonna have that, like I said, bag holding BRC20 rewarded moment. Heading into the holidays. I do think that. I do.
Yeah.
100% think that. Is it going to be as big as the BRC20 one? I think it could be bigger just because we're in a different price bracket of where Bitcoin was last winter to where it is now. But it could also disappoint again. But I don't know. I have a feeling that it's going to do well. Patapoo says RuneCoin up 50%. Yes, right. It is because of that announcement. And then
not on the day, on the week, yeah.
Yeah. Yasher says one question is that FB gonna introduce the new protocol without transfer inscription, or just because the faster confirmation is it gonna be there too? I'm not sure if they're gonna have transfer inscription with. I imagine they get rid of that. It would be dumb to keep that, within their protocol.
You have to remember it's probably going to be like a fractal coin. So once you bridge it over, it'll probably be a different standard than it is, a better standard.
Yeah, just an upgraded version over there. And then Sixes says crypto freaks mint tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern on Ordinals bot. Man, Ordinals bot be making that mint money. They're getting those mints out. So check that out. Thanks, Sixes, for the update. Crypto freaks will be minting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. And I think the last thing, that was the last statement or question, is an update for you guys. Verothium Dex is live. Finally, it is live. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It's live. So if you go, I'm going to share this real quick. If you go to verothiumdex.io here, and you hit verothiumdex.io and you go to launch app, you can swap for whatever has liquidity here. And then, so the Verothium gas token, which is the governance token of the swap, is here. Also, you got different tokens as well there. And then if you go to staking pools, this is the really cool part, right? If you go to staking pools, you can see, you click on staking pools up there, and then you go to runes, you hit the, you can add LP. So this is the Verothium gas / Merlin token, Verothium gas / BTC token. Satoshi Nakamoto BTC doesn't have liquidity yet. BAMC of Nakamoto BTC doesn't have liquidity yet, but you can see the APYs here are really high on the ones that don't have liquidity. So if you're early, you can start earning on those. And then you go to BRC 420, and you can single stake your mines. Finally, I know everybody's like been wondering about these, right? So there's 1,700 that are staked right now from users. You can earn up to 1,188% APY. And then also there's going to be, I think the blue box is going to be added, as well as possibly some wands and some other BRC 420s. So this is big, man, for that platform. And because people have been wanting to figure out, like, what can we do with our BRC 420s? Well, this is something you can do right now instead of them just, burning a hole in your wallet. So you can single stake those. They're going to be more utility added to bitmap.game with those. So, this is something that's big, and thanks to Verothium Dex to offer the single staking there, so you can at least earn their token with these. And if you are a BRC 420 founder, then reach out to this team, because go to their Discord, because they're trying to be able to help assist you guys to get your BRC 420 on for single staking, or possibly launch a token on VDEX as well. One thing I'll say, though, for the single staking, the V mines do have the highest percentage. So the other ones, they're going to be a little bit lower in terms of earning the tokens. And that's just to benefit the V mine holders for supporting the project. So Kai Effect says, are they adding mineral? So from what we know is that the mineral team is in talks right now with them. So the mineral team is actually, they've changed their system up to try to make it better for the users. I can't go into too much detail of what the new system is going to be, but it's definitely going to be better for the user to be able to stake their mine. So what they're trying to figure out now is how that can be integrated on the VDEX platform. But yeah, we're trying to push for that, if obviously from an advisor perspective, because we think that could help both projects out. And mineral definitely needs a push up, but I think with what they've been doing with kind of their re-strategizing things, it's definitely going in the right direction. So any thoughts from you on any of that?
Yeah, I think Verothium, they're solving a problem, right? So because they are a Uniswap V2, which kind of is different than with Merlin Swap is. And I think that, being able to do some degen stuff over there, they want to be the degen chain. They want to be the BRC 420 chain. So I think that's awesome. I think it's smart. It's stupid not to do, especially if you have the abilities to do it. And I'm surprised no one has done it yet. So I think this is just the beginning for these guys. And I think that just keep an eye on what they're going to do next, because I mean, there is a lot of rumors that we're hearing in the background, potentially what they could end up being, and it might be something completely different than they are today.
Yeah, definitely. So just stay tuned. I know that their Twitter account has been announcing some stuff, and so stay tuned to make sure you have your notifications on for them on that, and then stay tuned to Ordinal Revolution, as we're going to release as much as we can as soon as we get news and all that good stuff. And also, if you have a moment, check out our partners, guys. Bitperp.io they're shooting to be that premier perpetual DEX. A lot of P's in there for Botonics, which is a Bitcoin layer 2. Being able to trade leverage up to 100x is what it looks like they're going to try to do. But they are already partnering with a lot of runes communities, guys. So that could be a really fun degen leverage trading. Obviously, if you've never done leverage trading, please do a ton of research. And I only do it for fun. They are going to have a test net available to the public for a trading competition here in the next 2 weeks. I believe there will be prizes for that, but stay tuned and we will give you guys more information on that. Also, make sure you check out Ordinal Hive, the blur of Bitcoin, which is on Merlin chain in their beta version, but they should be opening up to the public very soon. If you want to get into the beta version so you can start earning points and you can turn those points in possibly Ordinal Hive tokens later on, go to their Discord. Tell them that you want to test out the beta version, which is, by the way, it's live trading. So just know that, it is live Bitcoin, live ordinals and stuff like that. And then we have fluid tokens. You got 3 days. They have 3 days left to interact with the fluid tokens runes DEX to acquire as many fluid points as possible. As long as you're in that top 1,000, you will get a fluid pass airdrop. So make sure you do that. They are also a borrowing and lending for ordinals, and they're all Bitcoin layer 1 guys. So you want to get in, earn those points, get those passes. You can possibly stake those for fluid runes tokens down the line once they announce that. So check them out. And then obviously Verothium DEX, we already went over. They are the Bitcoin layer 1 asset focused DEX on Merlin chain.
100%, guys. And if you guys wouldn't mind going over to ordinalrevolution.com, that really helps us. Check it out. We have some of the best articles over there. And if you know someone who is new to ordinals or the space, if you wouldn't mind just sending them our link. I think our articles from way back last year could really help them all the way up to this year. So check that out. And we have some of the best merch that you could possibly think of. So check that out. You go to the store tab right there, and that'll bring you right into some of the best merch. Send your kids back to school with a school bag from Ordinal Revolution. They might hate you for it, but it looks sick. I would love it, but I'm just kidding around. But guys, check out some of the merch. Check out everything that we have here at Ordinal Revolution. The more times you got to go to the site, the more it benefits us. If you want to support the show, just go to the website, and we would really appreciate that. We have over 300 people in here, guys, watching for this Monday in August. We appreciate that. And we are here Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. So check us out all week, guys. We'll be here all week. I'll be in tomorrow and Friday. We got J25 in Wednesday and Thursday. Shout out to J25, legend. You're going to want to hear what he has to say because his opinion is really huge because he is in this space every single day. And when I say space, he's in the OSD, Ordinal Support Desk. So he hears a lot of what's going on. So get some insights from him on Wednesday and Thursday. And thank you, Jay, for doing that, for filling in for me. But we appreciate you guys. We'll check you guys out tomorrow.
Peace.
We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo. Experts on reload. Man, pool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this satoshis, nothing above me.